Hey there, friends. I hope you're well. Today we get the chance to sink our teeth into a featured article, which, by the way, you can tell if an article on Wikipedia is a featured article by this gold star, top right. Featured articles are considered the best Wikipedia has to offer in terms of the quality of the writing, in terms of the citations. So this is a good one, folks. Oh, and if you're new to the channel, if you're new here, this is Wiki with Me, channel where I talk about different topics through Wikipedia. Of course, not every video is a featured article. This in particular is. But I'm going to make an effort to try to choose either good or at least featured for my videos, just so that it's not a waste of time for us in terms of the quality. So yeah, let's, without further ado. So what's cool about this topic is that it's it is similar to some of my latest videos on the Bronze Age and kind of Canaanite religion, which has been doing good numbers. Put that out yesterday. So this is the sarcophagus of 𝐻𝑒shmunazar. 𝐻𝑒shmunazar. Sorry, third time's the charm. 𝐻𝑒shmunazar, the second. So the sarcophagus of Eshmunazar II is a 6th century BC sarcophagus, unearthed. A 6th century BC sarcophagus unearthed in 1855 in the grounds of an ancient necropolis southeast of the city of Sidon in modern-day Lebanon that contained the body of Eshmunazar II, Phoenician King of Sidon, one of only 3 ancient Egyptian sarcophagi found outside of Egypt, with the other 2 belonging to Eshmunazar's father, King Tabnit, and a woman, possibly Eshmunazar's mother, Queen Amoashtart. It was likely carved in Egypt from local amphibolite and captured as booty by the Sidonians during their participation in Cambyses II conquest of Egypt in 525 BC. Interesting. So it indeed is an Egyptian sarcophagi, but it's not an artifact of ancient Egyptian conquest of Lebanon and that area, modern day Lebanon, of course, so the ancient Lebanon area. It's in fact the opposite. It's a sign of Phoenician conquest in Egypt. Interesting. In particular, the campaign of this fellow. So this is quite a it's like an indicator of strength, of Phoenician strength, conquest. Interesting. So the sarcophagus has 2 sets of Phoenician inscriptions, one on its lid and a partial copy of it on the sarcophagus trough, around the curvature of the head. Got it. The lid inscription was of great significance upon its discovery, as it was the first Phoenician language inscription to be discovered in Phoenicia proper, and the most detailed Phoenician text ever found anywhere up to that point, and is today the second longest extant Phoenician inscription after the Karatepe bilingual. Okay, so let's have a look at the pic. Wow. So what we can see is this is the sarcophagus, I think. And it's basically, it's whole. It's quite short and stubby, but it's as if they just stole. I mean, it seems like they just stole this entire, or looted this entire sarcophagi, and then they did some graffiti work, basically. And this is the graffiti I'm jokingly calling it, which is a very long text in ancient Phoenician, ancient kind of early Iron Age Phoenician writing, and it's the second longest text. And it's here, and it's also apparently on the back side of the head. There's more writing. So here's some information about the discovery. So it was discovered by this fellow, a diplomatic agent in Sidon, engaged by this fellow, the chancellor of the French consulate in Beirut. So it was a French colony? Not so sure. More recent history, I'm not so sure about that. It was sold to a wealthy French nobleman and scholar after it moved. And then it moved to the Louvre, it seems. Yeah, it seems like it's in the Louvre right now. This picture's from 2022. More than a dozen scholars across Europe and the United States rushed to translate this sarcophagus inscriptions after its discovery, many noting the similarities between the Phoenician language and Hebrew. Wow. So Hebrew is the language of ancient Israelites. And this language apparently is strikingly similar, which isn't, it's not a shocker. It's not as if we're looking at ancient artifacts from Japan and seeing a similarity to the Israelites. We're looking at the Phoenicians, which are geographically not connected, but close, in very close proximity to the ancient Hebrews. So I'm not so shocked by this discovery. It seems to me quite natural that the languages would be, almost the same. The translation allowed scholars to identify the king buried inside, his lineage, and his construction feats. The inscriptions warn against disturbing Eshmunazar II's place of repose. It also recounts that the Lord of Kings, the Achaemenid king, granted Eshmunazar II the territories of Dor, Joppa, and Dagon in recognition for his services. Dor, Joppa, and Dagon being, of course, different territories, which this is in modern-day Israel, and this is modern-day Israel as well, Tel Aviv, seems. And Dagon also, modern-day Israel. So, whatever was happening in all of history, there's a moment in the 6th century BC where a lot of territory in modern-day Levant, not in the highlands, but in the kind of lowlands coastal lowlands were in control by Phoenicia. The discovery led to great enthusiasm for archaeological research in the region and was the primary reason for Renan's 1860 to 1861 work called Mission de Phoenicia, the first major mission to Lebanon and Syria, and one of the highlights of the Louvre's Phoenician collection. Aha. Very cool. So here's what's weird. I'm just seeing this right here. So it says it's created in the 6th century BC, and the period culture is Achaemenid Phoenicia. Gosh, I want to click into this right now because I'm confused. I'm confused because Phoenicia to me is kind of on the beginning end. It's Phoenicia. On the end, it's Carthage. If you extend Phoenicia's timeline, I just did a really brief video about Phoenicia. I should call it at least part 1. But so I guess there was a period. You know what? Let's just, without further ado, let's just read this. This might give me some help here. So, Eshmunazar was a Phoenician king of Sidon, reigning from 39 to 25. He was the grandson of King Eshmunazar I and a vassal king. So there was vassalage to the Achaemenids, which basically means that they bend the knee, I think, and will rally to their protection, but they also have autonomy. They have some sort of autonomy in terms of in exchange for that sort of for that loyalty. I hope I'm getting that right. So Eshmunazar II succeeded his father on the throne of Sidon. Tabnit I ruled briefly before his death. Okay, we're getting a lot of details. Okay, let's just keep reading. Tabnit I ruled briefly before his death, and his sister wife, Amoashtart, also another sarcophagi for her, acted as an interregnum regent until the birth of Eshmunazar II. Amoashtart then ruled as Eshmunazar II's regent until he reached adulthood. Eshmunazar II, however, died prematurely at age 14 during the reign of Cambyses II of Achaemenid Persia, and was succeeded by his cousin Eshmunazar. Eshmunazar II, like his father, and grandfather, was a priest of Astarte, some sort of deity. Temple building and religious activities were important for the Sidonian kings to demonstrate their piety, political power. Eshmunazar II and his queen, Amoashtart, constructed new temples and religious buildings dedicated to the Phoenician gods, such as Baal, Astarte, and Eshmun. That's it for this one. This was a total primer. It didn't even get through the first paragraph, only the first 2, but fascinating. And I'm turned on to this idea of essentially the Achaemenid empire and its vassalage with the Phoenicians. Move on. I'm gonna end this one here. Hopefully see you guys on the next one.